First of all, I have to say that I've never believed in ghosts or supernatural things or anything of that sort until earlier this year. I had no reason to believe in them. I live in Dallas, Texas, where I'm an attorney. Around February of this year, I was in a business meeting held in an office building in downtown Dallas. It's not an old building, one of those mirrored glass skyscrapers. Anyway, the meeting was dismissed around 10:30 that evening, but a few people from our firm stayed around to discuss the outcome. Around 11 p.m., 2 of them left, leaving me alone with one of my closest friends, Brian. He had parked in a pay-to-park lot across the street, and I had parked in the parking garage adjacent to the building. After we said our goodbyes, he got in the elevator, and I looked for directions on making my way back to the parking garage. I ended up having to go down to the lobby from the 37th floor and find out how to exit to the parking garage. I was told I had to get back in the elevator and go to the 8th floor, turn the corner, go down the hall until I reached the exit doors, and that should take me to the parking lot. I thanked them and got in the elevator. Around 5 minutes later, I was relieved to have the parking garage spanning before me. Fantastic, I thought. A huge, empty parking garage, 8 stories up where absolutely no one would hear me if I had to scream. I was also surprised to find it almost completely filled with cars at such a late hour. However, I noticed there seemed to be a lot of activity in one of the surrounding buildings, and I guess the cars must belong to the guests over there. I didn't remember exactly where I parked, but I knew it was at least several rows back. So I started walking past the rows of cars. I walked about 5 or so rows when I finally spotted my car. I was no more than 40 feet away from it, when in the row of cars behind my car, something ran extremely fast and disappeared behind some cars. Now, let me describe this something. As childish as it may sound, it looked basically like Uncle Fester from the TV show The Addams Family, if he was scurrying on all 4s. I'm 99.9% sure whatever it was not human, although I can't give a logical explanation for what it was. While it was scurrying by, it gave out a creepy laugh. When I first saw it, I thought I must be imagining things, but I kept watching and watching, and I was still seeing it. And to this very day, I am positive of what I saw. I watched it run down the aisle behind the cars for about 5 seconds. Then I turned and started running back towards the doors. I was scared the most because I didn't know where it had gone. And I couldn't hear anything except my heart beating in my ears. I can say I've never been so scared in my life, and I seriously doubt I ever will be again. I jumped on the elevator while the doors were still opening, pressed the close button, and went back to the lobby. I called Brian on his cell phone while walking to the front desk, and basically begged him to come back and take me home. He could tell I was pretty frantic because of my voice, and was back at the building within 10 minutes. He asked me what was wrong several times in the car, but every time I thought back and pictured it in my mind, I felt like I was going to throw up or faint. About an hour later, we were at my house, and I was able to give a little gist of what happened. As we were both rigid, conservative attorneys, the whole situation was a little difficult for him to believe, as I'm sure it would have been for me if the situation had been reversed. And to this day, I have absolutely no idea what it was I saw. in that office building parking garage,